Hello everyone, welcome to Australia. Welcome to Australian Book Travels and our book recommendations and chat for this week. I hope you've all had a lovely week. It has, across the world, it has been rather testing this week, but we always try to keep away from that as much as possible, and we try to look at all the lovely things in life and the fun things. And the reading takes me away from the reality of the world. So, and I hope you did too. I hope you did lots of reading this week, or at least some reading to take you away into another world and to give you joy and pleasure. Arthur's decided to sit beside me where I had the books sitting, and now I've had to put them on my lap because he's sitting on the footstool. So, apologies if he moves and walks across the screen. So I hope you've all had a lovely week. We've had an interesting week this week ourselves. I had a wonderful time today is Sunday. I'm recording this on Sunday for you tomorrow on Monday. So on Thursday, I went into Melbourne and met up with a girlfriend who I worked with a number of years ago. We were very close. And then life just got in the way and we went our separate ways. We kept in contact. My girlfriend was very good at doing that. She keeps in contact with everyone, and she's just one of those people she keeps in contact with you. She keeps you up to date no matter what, no matter whether you don't contact her, and it's lovely. It's shameful, really, on my behalf. I wasn't as good at keeping in contact, but she did, and luckily, because we have this year decided that we're going to see a lot more of each other. And so on Thursday, I met her in Melbourne, and we had a lovely day just shopping and chatting. Look, we have kept in contact, so we know basically what's happened in each other's lives, but on Thursday we could get into a little bit of the nitty-gritty, and yeah, it was really enjoyable. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I think she did too. So, and it's always nice, I think, when you have someone of a similar mind or like mind, and you've known them for many years. And as I say, once upon a time, we were very close friends. We worked together and we socialised. And so when you know someone like that, it's oftentimes it can be easy just to slip back in. And it's also nice because you know what each other likes. So if you're shopping together, or we shopped and then we lunched and we had morning tea. It was just lovely. So I had a lovely week. We also had just a couple of little chickens hatch. Unfortunately, although Mark and I really fought the good fight, we lost two of them. And in fact, we just lost one this morning, which was really upsetting. But so we only have one left from that little batch of 3. The other 6 we had, it must be, what is it now? Perhaps 7 or 8 weeks ago. They're all doing really well. They're very cheeky. And the 3 that we hand raised, they're doing really well. And they jump all over you and they get under your feet. It's lovely. They're really, really sweet little companions. They're really lovely. And the dogs don't bother them at all. The dogs are really good with them. So, the dogs walk into the chicken coop and we have a bit of a fossick around and we water them and give them food and all that sort of thing. So it's lovely. So we had that happen this week with the little chicks, and that was a bit sad. And what else did we have this week? We had a lot of you who very kindly, honestly, everyone, it's autumn as of yesterday and it's still really hot. It's cloudy, it's cooler than it has been, but my goodness, I think because I closed the doors off, this room, and I don't want the fan going because it'll probably interrupt with the audio, but my goodness, I can't believe it. I was fine just a few minutes ago and now I'm really warm again. So apologies if I'm perspiring. So we had... What was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say to you all. We had the little chicks. We had a lot of you. Thank you to all of you who commented on the videos this week on both the travel and the last week's book recommendation. You're all very kind to try and help us boost the channel. Your ideas were brilliant and we're taking them on board. We really do think that for the algorithms, we are going to have to split the channel in two, have them connected, but have two different channels. But I don't want to rush into doing that yet. We'll just pull back on those travel videos, fill in the gaps with some relaxation or slow living videos. And in the meantime, I'll work on exactly what I will do with the channel, whether I will split it or whether I'll just make a new one for a different type of genre of video. We'll see how we go. But it is all about trying to boost the channel to get it paying for itself. So you were all wonderful. It was fantastic. Some people I haven't heard from you before, and that was lovely to meet you via the comment section. And of course, those of you who are regulars and you've been loyal to the channel, you're always wonderful. You always support with wonderful comments. So yes, that was interesting, and I've been doing some research on that this week. And I've been planning to go away, to take you away for the travel and for a little bit of slow living. But that's not for a couple of months. I'm still working on that. That will be our first really going away type adventure for a while, since last year. Since I went to New South Wales last year. And also, in amongst that, I'm organising, when I take you away, I'm going away for around about a week and filming some locations. In amongst that, I'm taking a few days just for myself. So more about that later. I'm very excited actually, but closer to the time, I'll let you know what's happening. The other thing that was suggested by a couple of you actually, you were interested in knowing a little bit about my skincare and what I use and how I look after myself. So I thought it may be a better option to have that as a sneaky midweeker and make it quite clear that it's about skincare and self-care, so that those who are not interested they don't have to watch. But those of you who are interested, it will be specifically about the skincare, the products that I use and have used over the years and what I do. So I think that will be relatively easy to film. So I'm thinking possibly in the next few weeks maybe, or at least in the next 2 months anyway, giving myself a little bit of leeway. So that will be a specific video on skincare, and it will probably be labelled a bit of a sneaky midweeker, I think. So I hope those of you who called for that, are happy for me to do that. And maybe that will also interest other people who are not currently watching. That may be something too. Okay, I think I've covered everything, everyone. The boys need a wash. They've been out on the property and they smell. They're horrible. They're beautiful, really, but they're horrible. And both of them, Rooney is on the chair right behind the camera, and Arthur, he's always by my side. No matter whether he is hidden or in your view, he's always by my side. So he's a good, loyal boy. He's a lovely boy. So yes, let's get into it, everyone. Now I've got a couple of interesting ones for you this week. Donning the spectacles. And I will show you this first one. Now I have a bookmark in here for a reason, because I wanted to highlight something to you. Okay, this is Rebecca Raisin, who is an Australian. Summer at the Santorini Bookshop. Now she has written quite a few books. Let me think. The Venice Bookshop, Christmas at, the Little Venice Bookshop, and Christmas at, let me see, everyone, if I can have my memory jogged. because now I've forgotten. I remembered it just a few moments ago. Oh, here we go. Elodie's Library of Second Chances, Rosie's Travelling Tea Shop. That was another one I wanted to. That's quite a famous or well-known of her novels. That's Rosie's Travelling Tea Shop. What else is there? Oh, the Little Venice Bookshop. But there's also one, a Christmas. Oh, look, I'll put it in the subtitles below. Right now I've forgotten because I do have a few things to say about this one. This is fun, it's light, it's fictional, so it has a few really outrageous parts of the storyline. Obviously in real life, although real life can be quite strange at times, can't it? But it just seems a little outrageous, some of the stories. It's fun, it's a really lovely summer read. Not that I'm a seasonal reader, but yeah, this is just a really fun summer read that is set on Santorini Island in the Greek islands. Now, one thing I will say about this, look, I enjoyed it. It was just fun. I took it for what it was. There's a bit of romance. There's a bit of shenanigans from our protagonist, Evie's grandmother. Evie has to fly from America it begins in America, even though she's an Australian writer. Evie has to fly from America. She loses her job and she flies to find out what in the dickens her grandmother is doing in Santorini Island. The grandmother has had 9 husbands and they've all mysteriously died under the most outrageous circumstances. It's fun. And that's what it is. It is fun. But one thing I will say, I don't know whether it is the author, because I have the Venice Bookshop, but I don't have any of her other books. So effectively, this is really only the second book of hers that I've read. And so I don't know whether it's the author or whether it is the publisher, the proofreader not doing their job. But there were some mistakes, both grammatically and otherwise, in here that made me twitch, everyone. It really made me twitch. And I have the bookmark here to show you the type of error which really did jar me. The grandmother she's in a bit of a financial fix, and Evie is talking to her grandmother, discussing the possibility of where she could get a bit of capital. And Evie suggests, perhaps why don't you ask Mum, the grandmother's daughter? And she says, no, not on your Nelly. And then she says, Evie says, Posy then. And Posy is her sister. She says, Posy then. She has more money than sense, but who am I to judge? And the grand scoffs, lend money from my precious granddaughter? Now, I don't know whether the English language has changed, but that should actually be borrow money from my precious granddaughter, not lend. So I was a little, and there are a few other examples. I just wanted to point that one out to you, so that you got it straight from the book and not just from me. There are also a couple of connective words that are not in here, and so I've had to read a few of the sentences twice to make sense. So yes, if you can overlook that, I'm disappointed. I think it's really, the proofreaders should be doing their job, and even if the author gets it wrong, the proofreaders should. And that, maybe I'm a stickler. Perhaps other people don't care about that, and that's fine. It's just a fun read. But if you do care about it, it could be quite jarring. Look, it's not, I'll be honest with you, it is not a literary masterpiece, but then I don't think Rebecca Raisin is asking you to view it that way. It is just a fun read, happy, joyful, outlandish plans and plots throughout the book. It was fun, I enjoyed it, but there were just those few grammatical errors that that did jar me. And I think in this day and age where people we're losing through texting and all of that sort of thing, we're losing the ability to spell and to, I know some of you will be out there saying, well, the English language changes, and all language changes, and of course it does. I understand that. But I just think when you're using the language as it stands today, then use the language correctly. So in other words, lend and borrow and loan. So yes, that was the only thing. If you are a bit of a grammar Nazi, then as we say, I don't like the word Nazi, and I do apologise, but I know that that's a term that is used. If you're a bit of a stickler, I should say, for grammar, then this may annoy you a little bit. But apart from that, it's just a fun, really outlandish story, and it has a bit of a love story to it. So that's that. This one is lovely, hardcover. Oh, by the way, sorry, I did mean to tell you. I always try to tell you, don't I? It's around about 300 pages. Yeah, it is. It's 302 pages. And it is by, well, it was published in 2024, last year, and it's by HarperCollins. So, yeah, that's that one. Now, this one is that's a paperback. This one is a hardcover. This is by Adam O'Riordan, and it is The Falling Thread. Now, this was, I think, it was quite a few years ago. Yeah, 2021. Bloomsbury Circus was or Bloomsbury Publishing was the publishing house, and 2021. Wow, this is really good. This is set before the First World War in Manchester in the UK. 3 siblings. Our Charles is one of the siblings, and then 2 of his sisters. I think it's 2 of his sisters, or 3. I won't be able to get it from here because it's throughout the novel. Let me have a look on the back. I think it's 2 sisters from memory. I did read this some time ago, but I do recommend it. It has, look, it's evocative, compelling. It's beautifully written. It is funny. It is thought-provoking. It's emotional. It's beautiful. I recommend it. This is The Falling Thread by Adam O'Riordan. Absolutely beautiful, and it is beautifully written. It is only, I think Adam was I think this is his debut novel, or was his debut novel, and before that he was a poet, I think. But this is, let me see everyone, 254 pages. And did I just say by Bloomsbury? Is that right? Yeah, Bloomsbury. Really good. Absolutely. It's about these 3 siblings. It's really about family life before the First World War in Manchester in 1890 to 1913. In fact, I think some of the chapters have, well, they certainly have the months. Yes, and they have the year as well. So it goes through to 1913, but it begins in 1890, I believe, from memory. Let me have a look, everyone. Yes, 1890. So, and it goes right through, I think, to 1914, just before the war. Let me have a look, everyone. I want to give you the most accurate information I can. I'm sure it doesn't really matter, but it is pre-war anyway. But look, it's funny. As I say, it's evocative, emotional. It's lovely. I recommend this if you're looking for a beautifully written book to read that makes you think and gives you a time of place. This is absolutely beautiful. I recommend it. That's that one. Now, many of you will probably know Elizabeth Strout. She's an American author. She wrote My Name is Lucy Barton, Olive Kitteridge, and more recently she's written these two, Lucy by the Sea and Tell Me Everything. These are absolutely beautiful. Now, in Lucy by the Sea, set in America, Lucy, her ex-husband, asks Lucy, I think his third wife has just passed away. Lucy is now divorced from the second husband. Or has he died? I think he died, perhaps. Let me have a look. I think the second husband died. Anyway, regardless, Lucy and her ex-husband, the ex-husband contacts Lucy and says, come away with me, let's have a holiday. And they go down they're in New York, or Lucy's in New York, and they go down to a place in Maine. This is absolutely beautiful. It is emotional. It's beautifully written. I won't say any more than that. It's absolutely beautiful. And there's a lot more than just holidaying with her ex-husband. Now, this one, as I say, there are a lot more in Elizabeth Strout's books. They're always beautifully written. They always have something to impart to the reader. I recommend them. They're absolutely beautiful. Now, this is Elizabeth Strout's latest. Hang on everyone, Lucy by the Sea was 2022. And of course, My Name is Lucy Barton was, I think, 2021 or 2020 perhaps. Tell Me Everything, I'm sure Tell Me Everything was 2023 or 24. 2024, yep, these are by Penguin Random House. This one is, I'll just give you a little bit on the back. It's set in America again. A Bob Burgess, town lawyer, has become enmeshed in an unfolding murder investigation, defending a lonely, isolated man accused of killing his mother. He has also fallen into a deep and abiding friendship with the acclaimed writer Lucy Barton, who lives nearby in a house next to the sea. Together, Lucy and Bob talk about their lives, their hopes and regrets, and what might have been. These are beautiful. Elizabeth Strout is very much a thinking writer and an emotional, imparting writer, perhaps. That's not very well put, is it? But she really puts a lot of emotion and imparts a lot of emotion into her novels. These are beautiful. I recommend, if you can, start collecting. If you haven't already, start collecting and reading Elizabeth Strout's books. They're all hardcover. I think you can get them in paperback now, but they are a beautiful collection in hardcover. The spines are like a linen feel, and they're a lovely size. So they're a good travel size as well, because you can pop them in a bag or a backpack or your handbag. They're lovely. They're lovely to read on the plane or a bus or a train, anywhere. They're just, honestly, and she's award-winning, Elizabeth Strout. I recommend her. She's probably one of very few American writers that I really, really enjoy, who I really, really enjoy. She's a beautiful writer. I recommend these, everyone. I really do. There's always a different tale, there's a different adventure, but they're always thought-provoking and leave you self-reflecting, and yeah, they're just beautiful. I won't say any more than that. They're absolutely beautiful. So that's Lucy Barton, that's Elizabeth Strout, the story of Lucy Barton, or Lucy Barton is Involved. The first one in this is My Name is Lucy Barton, and there's others, Olive Kitteridge. Oh, actually, from memory, and I'm just reading on the back here, which reminded me, because I did read these, I read this one early last year. Olive Kitteridge is featured in this as well. So she really does weave the same characters a little bit, actually, a little bit like Alexander McCall Smith, where with his Mansion series, Corduroy Mansion, where he weaves, the characters are all there, but each novel gives a different story about the different residents in the block of mansions. And a little bit like that, where Elizabeth weaves her characters through the different novels, and some feature in some novels more than others, and so on. So they're really good. I really do recommend her. She's a beautiful writer, particularly one of my favorite American writers. They're beautiful. The Falling Thread, Adam O'Riordan, absolutely beautiful. I recommend it. Do yourself a favour, get yourself a copy. It's absolutely beautiful, and one to reread, as are Elizabeth Strout's. You can reread them, and in fact, the novels themselves encourage you to reread them each year, perhaps on an anniversary, or just to be reminded of how beautiful they are. And so too with Adam O'Riordan's The Falling Thread. Absolutely beautiful. Summer at Santorini Bookshop. Good fun, flippant, outrageous. As I say, I was just a little concerned as to the grammar and some of the punctuation in there too. I can forgive that, but the use of the English language is important, and I was not happy. I don't know whether anybody else has picked that up. Perhaps I'm being too picky. I understand that, but it just, when I'm reading also not just for the story. I read also for the beauty and the flow of the words. And to me, if you're not using those words correctly, then it puts a dampener on the writing, I think. Okay, but great story, fun. I still enjoyed it. I still had a laugh, and I'll read more of hers. I'm presuming it may just be an error in this book, because the other novel, I don't remember there being such an error, but there was in this one. Never mind. Certainly she is a fun writer. So that's all of those today, everyone. I don't think there's anything I have to remind you of. Don't forget, it's early days yet, but we will be having our book competition this year in October. So get ready for that, although it's a few months away. But the time's flying. I mean, we are in March already. How ridiculous is that? I can't believe it. I'm still trying to work out Christmas cards for last Christmas. I haven't sent Christmas cards for years. It's terrible. I occasionally to different friends, but if I haven't seen someone for a while, perhaps. But this year, I really want to get my act together and celebrate these occasions, Easter and birthday. Oh, I love celebrating birthdays, but birthdays and Christmas, Halloween, perhaps, Hallows Eve. But I just have to get my act together. I really do. I'm sure it's because I'm blaming the fact that the year just flies and I really don't get time. I'm so much in the moment that I'm not really looking ahead. And for the channel, you have to really plan ahead. I have to plan the books that we're reading, or the books that I'm showing you, or the book competition, or the travel, where we're going. So yeah, I tend to, at the moment, for the channel, I'm focusing on just the moment, but I really do want to focus well ahead. I want to be well planned. Anyway, that is it for this week, everyone. I'm sure there's something I needed to tell you, and I've forgotten. Never mind. If through the editing process, if there's something I needed to tell you, I'll pop it in the subtitles or in the description box below. But otherwise, I've told you that I had a wonderful week. I went out with a girlfriend. That's right, on last Monday, I met with another girlfriend. I went to the Buddhist temple, which I find is a lovely calming place for me. And both this particular girlfriend and myself enjoy having our morning tea there. So yeah, that was lovely. So that was on Monday. And then on Thursday, I met another girlfriend. So it's been a lovely social week this week. Yeah, and then I've had all of you commenting, and I have responded. it's just been lovely. It's been a really lovely social, and thank you for helping to make it a lovely week for me, because I enjoy your comments. I really appreciate your suggestions, and I'm really looking forward to having some wonderful videos for you in the future, something a bit different, really spicing up the channel, and and giving you good content. Anyway, everyone, I hope you are well. I hope you have a lovely week. And as I say, I hope you've had a lovely week already. But I hope you're about to have another good week. It will be Monday when you see this, or when it's uploaded. So let's have a wonderful week together. And I will see you either on Saturday. We have a video for you then. I'm not going to tell you what. And then, of course, next Monday for the next book recommendation. Okay, everyone, take care. Happy reading. Look after yourselves, please, wherever you are in the world. And good eating. And I'll see you next video. Take care. Bye for now.